Hey, happy Friday. It's Bill Maharris coming to you from the press box. First, before I get started, because there's a couple things that have happened in the world of sports over the last day or two that I just kind of wanted to talk about. I first want to say thanks to Freddie and Elizabeth, the two newest members to the press box. Now, I'm not sure what numbers I need to be looking at, but when I look online, it looks like we have 310 members. When I look on my phone, it says 340. I'm going to go with the 340. You know, we're not the biggest. We'll never be the biggest. It'd be nice if we get to about 500 members maybe before the fall, because when football season starts, both high school and college, and a little bit of pro, but I mainly talk about college and high school, we start to really get pretty busy. So again, thanks to Freddie and Elizabeth for putting me over that plateau, whichever it may be. College World Series. I've been watching it for years. I don't know if and yes, I am a Gator fan, so I'm very happy that Florida's in it. But when you look at the thing in totality, have we ever really had a better College World Series? I mean, just amazing. And last night in the 11th inning, I think it was the first time, or at least the first time in a long time, that a game has gone scoreless past 9 innings. And sure enough, even the press box said it would be 1-0. We did think it would take a home run, and it did. First ball this kid saw for a 2-run home run in the top, I guess, of the 11th. And LSU moves on to play Florida starting tomorrow, 7 o'clock, 2 out of 3 for the national championship. So I went back and looked at a couple of things between Florida and LSU. First of all, they didn't play during the regular season, so that's kind of interesting. It will be the first time that they'll see each other this year in baseball. Ironically, it's the 4th time that Florida has made the finals, including this year, and 3 out of those 4 times, they've played an SEC team. And 2 out of those 4 times, they've played LSU. They lost to Texas in 2005. They lost to South Carolina in 2011. And then 6 years ago in 2017, they actually did beat LSU for the collegiate baseball title. Looking even a little farther deeper than that, when I look at 2022, Ole Miss was the winner. 2021, Mississippi State. 2020, no College World Series because of COVID. 2019, Vanderbilt. So including this year, the SEC is going for their 4th championship in a row and 5th out of the last 6 years. So I know we always talk about SEC being the premier football conference. Hey, what about baseball? So again, excited to see an LSU team make it so that we can have an all SEC. You know, Gators, please don't give me a heart attack the next couple days. Can we do something maybe in the first couple innings and hold them off a little bit better than 2-1? But again, 2 really good teams that the press box thought would be in the final, and we'll see what happens from there. So if you read, talking about LSU, ex-football coach Les Miles had to vacate all the LSU wins from 2012 to 2015 because they had an ineligible player play. I did a little bit of research. Looked like it was a lineman. Looked like he might have maybe got some funds from somebody, a little bit less than $200,000. I guess now, based on the win total that Les has, he won't make the Hall of Fame. But does it really mean anything to take wins away? I was kind of curious. I did look. They don't make them losses. They just take the win total away. The teams that they played, they don't get the wins. The kids that played, you know, so what? They've all graduated. Does it really matter? So does that really matter? I mean, what should we do if an ineligible player does play? Do we penalize the coach? Maybe take some money from him? Does the player have to pay some money back? It just seems like in all these years, the right people really don't get penalized. We're going to take whatever that was, 30, 40 wins away from LSU. In the big picture, it means nothing. Maybe we ought to start doing things that maybe do mean something, whether it's the player or the coach. Now, of course, we got kids making $1 million a year to play a sport. Let me tilt my camera up here a little bit. But anyway, I just don't know if taking wins away really does anything. So we had the NBA draft last night. Didn't really watch any of it because I was watching baseball and I saw the ticker across the bottom of ESPN. But it brought up a couple ideas. If you look at the top first round, maybe even the second round, how many players did not play college? A lot of these players are out of the G League, overseas, other types of leagues. There's 2 twins that got picked, I think a couple spots from each other. They didn't go to college. They played, I think it's elite something. I meant to write it down and I didn't. So again, and I'll be honest with you, I'm okay with that. I almost would rather see those kids go play after they get out of high school in some other type of a league overseas, here in the United States, whatever it may be, and not waste a college's time with doing the one and done. So I'm okay with that. But I was just really surprised to see how many kids that got drafted in the first round and the second round that did not play college basketball last year. Another thing that really surprised, well, first of all, hats off to UCF. They had the number 9 pick, and Miami had the number 48 and 55 pick. That's all that I saw from the state of Florida. I did see that Colin from University of Florida did sign a contract with the Lakers as far as him not getting drafted, etc. So we wish him the best of luck. Another thing that I saw in the top 10 or the first round, we've got players in college that averaged 10 points a game, 10 rebounds a game, 40% shooting from the field. These are players that were drafted in the first round with those kind of numbers. So I don't know. Are those big numbers when you get to college or get to the pros? If you're double digits in points and rebounds, does that mean something? Or is it just not a really good year? But to think about the money that these kids are going to make, I'm sorry. I think you got to score more than 10 points a game or 10 rebounds a game to get to that level. But as long as people keep buying the tickets, they're going to keep getting paid well. Talking about being paid well, Bradley Beal, great player, plays for Washington, looking to move over, possibly to Phoenix. They say he's actually going to be in the number 3 spot behind Booker and KD. But at the number 3 spot, he might make $50 million a year. $50 million a year and not be the number 1, not be the number 2 person on your team. The number 3, just saying, making $50 million a year. Then you have Chris Middleton. You know, I keep up with the pro sports. Most of you all that know me, I like college and high school a little bit better. But I keep up with pro sports, just like to know what's going on in the playoffs, etc. Never really heard of Chris Middleton, but evidently he's pretty good. Turning down $40 million option. So he's turning down a $40 million option. I've never heard ESPN, First Take, Get Up in the Morning. I've never heard them mention his name. Again, I'm sure he's a great player that turned down $40 million. And another player that's going to get $50 million to be the number 3 person on the Phoenix Suns. Like they say, you just can't make that stuff up, but that's pretty serious money. Now, again, we all complain, and I'm one of them, and I got to tighten my button here on my, on my tripod. So I'm one of those that says maybe they're getting paid too much money. It's kind of like the people that complain about Walmart coming into town and closing a lot of smaller companies. Well, then don't go shop there, all right? But you know what? We all go shop there. Well, it's kind of like the NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB. If you think they're making too much money, don't go to the games. But we know that's not going to happen. This money's going to be there. It's just amazing how much some of these players make that I've never heard of and how much money they actually turn down. I also see that LSU football coach Brian Kelly, now thinking that NIL needs to be regulated a little bit more. Seriously? I think the press box mentioned that a couple years ago when I first started. We'll see where that's going to happen. But that's just a couple things that popped out. Again, share things about your teams. If you have kids that are playing sports, high school or college, please post those type of things on the press box. Don't forget Press Box Overtime has a Twitter account. Just started Instagram, haven't put a lot of stuff up there, but again, just trying to expand our horizons. Also have a YouTube channel, same name, Press Box Overtime. I guess nobody else thought that was a good name, so nobody else used it. I guess that's good for me. And looking to do a little bit more about that, I'll post this video also on my YouTube channel. I'm going to post it under podcast. Just kind of one thing I haven't really gotten into podcasts. You could do a podcast on YouTube. We'll see where that goes. I got Coach Cook helping me out. We got some things that we're thinking about doing before the fall starts, so stay tuned to the Press Box. But again, I hope you'll join me on Twitter, Instagram, my YouTube channel as well. So that's it from the Press Box. Have a great Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Collegiate baseball, 7 o'clock tomorrow, LSU, Florida. One thing we know for sure, the national champion is going to be from the SEC. Hey, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon.